Mena ho tātou, please be seated. Ko te tangi a te pipi wharauroa kui whiti ora. Whiti ki runga, whiti ki raro, whiti ki te whai au ki te ao marama, te hei mauri ora, no mai, haere mai, tauti mai rā ki te waipounamu. Koutou ngā manu hiri tuarangi no tui te moana nui a Kiwa. Hara mai I rongi te karanga a ngā tupune tuana ki uta, ngā karanga maunga tere, kura tāwhiti, rātou katoa no runga I te waka a arai te uru. Nō reira, piki mai rā, kake mai rā. Koutou hoki, no runga I te tika Māui, hara mai ki Waitaha, ki ngā Pākihi whakateke o Waitaha, hara mai I rongi te karanga Ngaitau, te whariwānanga Waitaha, hara mai I rongi te karanga a te kaikaranga nei. Nō reira, tēnā rā koutou, e mihi tēnei ki o koutou, I haere mai nei ki te tautoko, ngā tau I rā kei rāro I a mātou, kia whakanui ai tā rātou rā, me te wā mō te pōtaitanga mō rātou. Nō reira, haere mai, tēnā rā koutou katoa. Ka huri au ki o tātou tini aitua, nō reira e tika ana kia mihi ki a rātou katoa. Ngari, ko ngaro atu I rātou, ka ka mautonu mātou, ki te pū o te hene ngaro. Kāti, ka huri au ki a koutou. On behalf of Ngaitau and the University of Canterbury, welcome, and in particular our international visitors who have come to celebrate with the families here today and celebrate the graduation ceremony for our students. Traditionally, when Ngaitau welcome, we welcome you with our ancestors who stand on the hinterland, which are our mountains today. So, not simply from the living today and from Ngaitau, but all of our ancestors, welcome to Canterbury, welcome to the South Island, and we're here to celebrate with you, with the students before us. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā koutou katoa.
Ka tangi te tiki, ka tangi te kaka, ka tangi hoki a hou, ti hei mori ora. Ro rangatirama, no mai, piki mai, haere mai ki te whare wānanga o Waitaha. No reira, tēnā koutou, ki ora tātou katoa. I welcome you to the University of Canterbury and invite all present to stand, remove trenches and join in singing the Māori and English versions of the first verse of the national anthem as in your program and as displayed on the screens behind me.
Ora
Please be seated. It is a pleasure for me to welcome you to this University of Canterbury graduation ceremony at the beginning of my 4th year as your elected Chancellor. As I stated in the university's most recent annual report, 2014 marked the close of one of the most significant chapters in UC's over 140-year history. By Christmas and into the new year, we had put behind us the post-earthquake period of first uncertainty, then stabilisation, followed by forward planning, in exchange for the times to come of consolidating progress, ramping up activities, and realising the opportunities for transformation presented to us by natural disaster. Our most important achievement was through a series of intensively negotiated outcomes to have regained control of our own destiny, which is now back in our own hands. The impact on our people, and therefore the institution itself, has been overwhelmingly positive. Challenges which once seemed simply daunting now offer tantalising glimpses of the new university we have all worked so hard to conceive. The two most important milestones along the way have been the conclusion of a funding agreement with our principal stakeholder, the New Zealand Government, allowing for receipt of the first $100 million slice of new investment in our UC Futures program, and second, the negotiated settlement for $550 million of the university's earthquake-related insurance claims. Individually, each of these outcomes was sizable and significant. Taken together, they are game-changing. Visible signs of this to watch out for are progress with, first, the rolling rebuild of our engineering precinct as Canterbury Engineering the Future, with work under the main $143 million contract advancing well. And second, construction of our $213 million Greenfields Regional Science and Innovation Centre, with the contract let and building of the first and major component, the massive building named after our alumnus Ernest Lord Rutherford, starting this month. In the meantime, work continues apace on the less tangible, in some ways more important and even more challenging dimensions to the UC Futures program, notably that relating to the refining and implementation of our new graduate profile. The goal itself remains constant: to do our utmost to attract, retain, and grow great talent as we continue to build our world-class university. All of our graduands here today are living proof of our degree of success so far. So much for the future. Today is a time for celebration and congratulations to our graduands. It is a time to acknowledge their talents and their commitment to the goals they set themselves and the disciplines they imposed upon themselves, in most cases, years ago. This is the time to celebrate not only their hard work, but also their resilience, because a university qualification never comes easily. This is an occasion our graduands will remember for the rest of their lives. I hope they will remind themselves from time to time of the setbacks, disappointments, and doubts they overcame to be here, ready to graduate today. Our special admiration goes out to those graduates who found ways to manage the competing demands of study, family life, and a working career. We particularly acknowledge those for whom university once seemed a daunting prospect, something out of reach, an impossible dream. Perhaps this was because of a disability, because they had tried once and failed, because they had not studied for many years, because English was not their first language, or simply because they were the first in the generations of their family down all the centuries to have had both the opportunity and the desire to go to university. I was once one of those too. It is a time too to acknowledge and thank the two most important contributors to the success of our graduands, the university faculty, those lecturers, tutors and support staff who gave so freely of their knowledge and time, and those family members, whānau and friends who have supported those graduating today. They offered practical help and encouragement in times of stress and doubt. They became part of your eventual success. Let us note as a community and as a nation how much we will benefit from the success of our graduands. They will contribute through their knowledge of the latest thinking and research in their fields. They take into our community the ability to reason at an advanced level. Many will become leaders in their professions. All will work in the service of humanity. Many will go beyond our shores. I know that wherever they choose to work and settle, they will use their new skills to contribute to a better world. Wherever they live and work, today's graduates will become University of Canterbury alumni. They will become part of a community of scholars well in excess of 100,000 strong and of a mutually supportive global network. We look forward to maintaining contact with them and welcoming them back home from wherever they are, whenever they choose to come. It is time now for me to say the words which under law give effect to the highlight of our celebration. As each of our graduands comes forward, let us call to mind their work, their commitment, and the determination which have led to this, their special moment. And let each graduand reflect on just how special their own achievement is. In graduating today, you confirm that you chose to come here and to stay in a post-earthquake environment with all its special challenges. You have earned your place in the latest of successive UC post-earthquake cohorts known for their resilience, courage, and determination, and at the same time their compassion and caring for each other and caring for the wider community. From today, your membership of that cohort will distinguish you and shape and sustain you for the rest of your life. I now convene a ceremony of the University of Canterbury for the conferment of degrees and the receipt of diplomas. In the name of the University of Canterbury, I, Lionel John Wood, Chancellor, now confer degrees in this university upon those who are about to be presented. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Rod Carr, to introduce those who will present the graduands.
I call upon the Associate Dean of Postgraduate Research, Professor Bryce Williamson, to present the doctoral graduands.
Sir, I have the honour to present these graduands for the conferment of degrees. Doctors of Philosophy, Michael Breck in Chemical and Process Engineering. Regina Ling Wei Choi in Mechanical Engineering. Hunter Harrell in Forestry. Marie Jo Liu Gain in Mechanical Engineering. Yun Chan Kim in Civil Engineering. James Oliver Litchwark in Chemical and Process Engineering. Craig Allen Muir in Civil Engineering. Patricio Ignacio Quintana Gallo in Civil Engineering. Robert Schneider in Computer Science. Anthony Bruce Shadbolt in Forestry. Kanan Subramanian in Chemical and Process Engineering. Robert Walter Turner in Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Andre Paul Verstappen in Mechanical Engineering.
I now call upon the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Forestry, Professor Conan Fee, to present the graduands in his faculty.
Sir, I have the honour to present these graduands for the conferment of degrees and receipt of diplomas. Master of Engineering with distinction, Rory Michael Horn. Master of Engineering, Guang Chai Chu. Masters of Engineering in Management and Postgraduate Diploma in Engineering Geology with Merit, Christopher John Lepper. Masters of Engineering in Management, Thomas Edward Beaumont. Catherine Trevina Blinko. James Michael Carr. Nicholas Frederick Coombs. Andrew James Courtney. Jeremy David Higgins. Guy Alistair Hobson. Henry Rufus Jones. Cody Joshua Kinzit. Jordan Marie Kirk. Victor Maxwell Komarovsky. Jared Charles Lewis. Dane Scott Mackey. Tobias Paul Bowman McLaughlin. Liam David Morrison. Samuel Lawrence Nugent. Julia Rose O'Brien. Eric Vincent Osborne. Dean van de Venter. Danira Veronica Westerland. Richard Hamilton White. Masters of Engineering Studies, Christopher Sin Luombong. Huhei Murun. Amit Surashreo Kamdi. Vindi Sindalia Mulianto. Dushant Singh Parma. Bachelors of Engineering with First Class Honours. Rodrigo Levosada Bello, Senior Scholar. Matthew John Bennett, Senior Scholar. Innes Alexander George Duncan, Senior Scholar. Matthew Julian Edwards, Senior Scholar. Hamish Robert Higgins, Senior Scholar. Peter Robert Knight, Senior Scholar. Natalie Samantha Lindsay, Senior Scholar. Vincent John Major, Senior Scholar. Tim Van Ginkel, Senior Scholar. Thomas Robert Addis. Michael Timothy Aitken. Benjamin George Arledge. Michaela Louise Antonetta Aspel. Hayato Joseph Alman. Zane Gregory Barker. Oscar Thomas Barkle. Simon Isa Millard Bebawi. Cameron Monday Bethwaite. Bradley William Boyd. Amanda Marie Brown. Liam John McFarlane Bunn. Blake Donald Burgess. Laura Page Burke. Michael Alexander Campbell. Andrew Ian Kaiser. Peter Chen. Daniel Anthony Foden Clark. David William Collinson. Simon Oliver Corbett. Joseph William Corbett Davies. Timothy Court Patience. Matthew Michael William Craik. Christina Joanne Crowley. Scott Davies Cowley. Nathan Ray Denmead. Emily Jane Dinsdale. Connor Ward Allison. Thomas Alexander Elmore. Jacob Lee Fairhall. Anthony John Fitzpatrick. Tim Yoop Flint. Daniel James Gary. Ross James Gavin. Amelia June Gilbert Milne. Brock Douglas Goodison. Daniel James Goodman. Michelle Louise Goodman. Alexander William Thomas Gorry. Thomas Patrick Rainford Green. Harrison John Greenwood. Michael David Hamerick. Alexander Matthew Gillespie Hannon. Torrey Christian Anthony Hanson. Bernard C.R. Harris. Mark George Harris. Sally Katie Louise Hayward. Emily Iris Hinton. Graham Henry Hobson. Jaden Glenn Hockley. Paul Daniel Horn. Samantha Teresa Howers. David Andrew Hunt. Benjamin Jan Kleinjan. Samuel James Lawson. Samuel Ross Leonard. Zachary Matthew Lilly. Craig Lewis MacDonald. Kendall David Edward McMillan. Jagnesh Bhupendra Makwana. Erin Joy Mansell. Henry Albert Tapper Marchant. Christopher James Markham. Tate Barry Matson. Stuart James McAdam. Courtney Lee McCrosty. Brandon Charles McCarthy. Ryan Scott Mackay. Brooke Edward Mitchell. Sam Patton Mitchell. Peter Carl Malloy. Sophie Elizabeth Morton. Simon Andrew Murrow. Sean Daniel O'Connor. Carl Alexander O'Neill. Jessica Ann Orpwood. Alexander John Palmer. Bradley Joseph Peterson. Timothy William Pomeroy. Ryan James Reed. Amy Louise Rhodes. Thomas Jonathan Richards. Jeremy Patrick Robertson. Robin Sarah Ryan. Jared Timothy Sanson. Julie Scott Hanson. James Matthias Scholar. Ricky Dylan Shimazaki. Adam Blake Slee. Thomas Rory Alexander Smart. William Randall Smith. Catherine Grace Starling. Kent William Stewart. Liam David Strange. Joseph John Taylor. Sophie Ann Templeton. Floyd Thomas Thomas. Nicola Helen Thompson. Evie May Trolov. Sam Fletcher Twyman. Alexander Bremner Upjohn Beatson. Amber Rose Valili. Henry James Wakefield. Thomas Gilbert Walsh. Adam Peter Waterhouse. Hamish Loughton Waters. Matthew Stephen Thomas Weber. Richard Martin Vainings. Claire Georgia Wild. Emily Ann Wilson. Thomas Charles Wollerman. Hannah Sue Ellen Woods. Theodore Claude Wordsworth. Bachelors of Engineering with Second Class Honours, Division 1. George William David Abbott. Campbell Phillips Alexander. Samuel Harrison Ash. Christopher Allen Baker. Biranavan Bala Murugan. Christopher Michael Arapeta Barber. Mitchell J. Beggs. Ford John Tyke Bockman. Andrew Fraser Owen Broom. Sean Brown. Marcin Simon Buhajczyk. Dylan Ronald Dominic Kane. Armand Paul Chand. Kai Chun Nicholas Chang. Lloyd Jingguo Cheng. Jan Hendricks Jacobus Kotze. Alistair John Frank Collo. Lewis Robert Commons. Regan Adam Cooper. Lauren Paloma Vandenbroek Croft. Rupert George Anthony Curlett.
Good morning. Acclaimed as one of New Zealand's finest pianist talents, 20-year-old Stephen Watson began studying piano at the age of 4. From an early age, his playing has been praised for its extraordinary sensitivity and charm. After gaining the Licentiate of Music New Zealand diploma with distinction at 14 years of age, he began studying at the University of Canterbury with renowned German pianist Professor Michael Endres. He completed the requirements for a Bachelor of Music degree at the age of 18. Stephen's brilliant academic record saw him receive numerous awards throughout his university career, including 6 prizes and 7 scholarships. His passion for performance has seen him perform as a soloist and accompanist in many concerts, as well as accompanying notable violinist Professor Natalia Lemico and performing for the visit of the former President of Poland. He also appeared playing Liszt's Piano Concerto No. 2 with the Christchurch Symphony Orchestra. Stephen is a Fellow of the Royal School of Music, having been awarded the respected diploma with distinction. Stephen believes that music is a gift from God and hopes to study further and pursue a career as a concert pianist. Today, Stephen will perform two pieces. The first is Intermezzo No. 2 in A major, Opus 118 by Johannes Brahms. Brahms composed the set of piano pieces, Opus 118, at the end of a long career writing piano music in 1893. They are among the most loved of his works and are profound expressions of consummate mastery. This intermezzo, Andante teneramente, is introspective and hauntingly beautiful. In a simple ternary form, it combines childlike innocence with fervent emotion. The second piece that Stephen will perform is Polonaise in A-flat, Opus 53, also known as Heroic, composed by Frédéric Chopin in 1842. The title Heroic was not officially sanctioned by Chopin, but musicians have continued to use this title. It is not at all inept, however, and probably stems from the reaction with which Amandine Lucille Aurore Dupin, alias George Sand, Chopin's beloved, received it, writing, "The inspiration, the strength, the vigour. There is no doubt that such a spirit must be present in the French Revolution. From now on, this Polonaise should be a symbol of heroicness." Chopin was fiercely nationalistic, and the martial quality of the work recalls the strength, nobility, and grandeur of the Polish cavalry.
Bachelors of Engineering with Second Class Honours, Division 1. Francis Joseph Villamin del Prado. Luke Bryce Duffy. Addison James East. Lee Elliott. Louis Johannes Ferreira. Ross Anthony Foyts. Malcolm James Finlayson. Alistair William Forsyth. Edward George Fraser. Cameron Francis Gensick. Sarah Elizabeth Gilmore. Sam Sterling Good. Saxon John Gordon. Katharina Danielle Grant. Sean Hayden Grieve. Catherine May Hare. Thomas Declan Harrison. James Mark Harvey. Michael James Heaven. Douglas John McKinley Hilson. Jaimu Hayashi. Christopher Adam Horan. Christopher Robert Ireland. Timothy Peter Johnson. Paul Desmond David Julian. Regan James King. Shuma Richard Kinjo. Amanda Marie Kirk. Erica Priscilla Kuhn. Ashkay Kumar. Nicholas Henry Latham. Jan Hendrik Lutz. Anjana Madura Peruma. George Loudon McAdam. Valen John McCaw. Abigail Rose McKinstry. Anna Rose McMullen. Robert Claude Meffin. Finlay Marshall Meldrum. Kalundu Sachunda Mindis. Isaac Colton Mischewski. Simon Alexander Molinar. Samuel James Murphy. Kurt William Murray. David Paul Newell. Simon Charles Newton. Jeremy Kevin Nichols. Benjamin Alistair Nicholson. Joshua Mac Nightingale. Jock Stewart Noel Eustick. Nicholas Ross Pacey. Alexandra Haydee Palmer. Laura Jane Podofsky. Matthew Mark Phillips. Edward James Radcliffe. Timothy Duncan Riddle. Kane Michael Robinson. Jacqueline May Russell. Raoul Jonathan Schipper. Ellen Margaret Charland. Howard Bruce Stewart Smith. Joel William Smith. Bridget Elizabeth Southey Jensen. Matthew Christopher Spriggings. Jack Frederick William Stainton. Caleb James Steele. Alice Louise Stembridge. Jaak Neil Stein. Patrick Joseph Stone. John Whitney Story. Christopher Stephen James Strain. Sean Lewis Simon. James McNichol Taylor. Timothy Ing Hing Tiong. Michael James van der Werf. James Edward Varley. Damien John O'Dowda Vriens. Joshua David Watkins. Charlotte Amy Welsh Crop. Benjamin Alexander Westerning. David James White. John Simeon Martin Wild. Jeffrey Duncan Wigley. Matthew Wilkins. Isaac Benjamin Williams. Robert Guy Wilson. Madeline Hannah Wynne. Simon Andrew Wong. Caden Richard Wood. Ellen Elizabeth Worthington. Jared Reese Wyatt. George Jian Hong Sian. Swetha Githita Yamdam Reddy. Bachelors of Engineering with Second Class Honours, Division 2. Nicholas Mitchell Bell. Matthew James Brabazon. Lucas Pascal Brown. Jordan Ross Cadman. Edward Shun Chalmers. Jenny Cha Hui Chu. Nicholas Allen Clark. Matthew John Cobham. Matthew Austin Coltard. Jordan Alexander Doak. Theo Edmund Dombrovsky. Jim Ryan De Souza. Thomas David Ellis. Rebecca Jane Farrant. Patrick James Fouth. Maria Annalise Fernando. James Fox. Sid Gilani. Reuben Goldwater. Alexander Roy Cumberworth Grierson. Renee Danielle Jens. Alexander Stephen Kelly. Andrew Hugh Kingham. Ethan James Lancaster. Cameron Stephen Leach. Jonathan On Chun Lo. Cameron Allen McNoe. Joseph David Mays. Michael Robert Magini. Sean William Malloy. Charles John Holloway Moore. Thomas Rolf Moser. Matthew Neville Lamb. Darshini Nukanaidu. James Richard Norris. Kishan M. Mattal. Thomas George Patrick. Robert Hugh Peacock. Rex William Rees Pollock. Leo Lonsdale Pritt. Samuel Nicholas Pynenberg. Callum Thomas Schrader. Shilaj Shah. Gregory Lee Signal. Gareth Selwyn Stewart. David Ting Ching Wen. Benjamin Samuel Thompson. Jonathan Theodore Vergunst. Campbell James Watson. Lachlan Richard Watson. Patrick Ian Williamson. Kerry Michael Wilson. Benjamin John Wright. Matt Alexander Wiley. Bachelors of Engineering with third-class honours. Thomas Simon Welch Belworthy. Morgan Seth Boyd. Nicholas Copeland Brooker. Hamish Leslie Garth Forbes. Thomas Robert Stephen Fraser. Fraser Rion Gemmell. Ali Akram Hadari. Jose Angelo Diamoy Mabaza. Muhammad Ali Muhammad Zin. Sean Patrick Monaghan. Gara Inescu Muti Ayana. Rowan Toy Nielsen. Dylan John Cudby O'Connor. Karishma Sanjana Ram. James Edward David Stott. Atikula Sultani. Liam James Thompson. Na Zhao. Bachelors of Forestry Science with first class honours. Benjamin Thomas Sly, Senior Scholar. David Andrew Satoff. Bachelor of Forestry Science with second class honours, Division 1, Samuel Ryan Nuski. Bachelors of Forestry Science with Second Class Honours, Division 2, George David Ferguson. Kate Rosemary Muir. Joshua Thomas Edward Tansey. Andre Van Handel. Bachelor of Forestry Science and Bachelor of Commerce, Damien Sean Corbett. Bachelors of Forestry Science, Zane Robert Boyle. Oliver Raymond Corrick Hermans. Thomas Eric Forbes. Ross Charles Gallagher. Matthew Charles George Gare. William David Grogan. Simon Ashley Honour. Wendy Hopar. Danielle Amanda Ingalls. Angus Mark Mackenzie. Owen Thomas Riley. Daniel Kingsley Robertson.
Kia ora, ladies and gentlemen. Warren Poe, a graduate of the University of Canterbury, is a member of the University Council. It's actually his second time on the Council, having served in 2006 in his role as President of the University of Canterbury Students' Association. Warren graduated from the University of Canterbury in 2004 with a Bachelor of Engineering honours degree in electrical engineering, followed by a Master of Engineering Management in 2005. He is currently the Commercial Manager for Olsen Fire and Risk, an Australian and New Zealand-based fire engineering consultancy practice. Warren Poe.
Chancellor, Council members, Vice-Chancellor, academic staff, ladies and gentlemen, and to you, graduates. Thank you for the opportunity to speak at this wonderful occasion. It was not that long ago that I too sat here waiting an address from a guest. That ceremony, like yours, was the day before grad ball, which meant I was able to listen without falling asleep. Over the 10 years since I graduated, I've managed to learn a thing or two about myself, start a few new lives to create a family, and forge some lasting memories. I would like to share with you now a few things I've learned along the way, and hope a little bit of wisdom, especially because no one should be falling asleep, can rub off on you. All of you, with your valuable degrees, beautiful smiles, and boundless energy, are at the start of the rest of your life. I want to highlight 3 things I've learned after university. Hope they'll mean something to you now or in the future as you move into the next phase. Like many of you, after I graduated, I started, or will start in your case, my first job. And how did I choose that job? It was tough. I had so many offers to choose from. I sat there like you may have, or still are, thinking to myself, do I work in Auckland, Do I work overseas? Engineering company, a general company, big company or a small? So many choices, and now I had to make the biggest decision of my life to date. I used pros and cons lists, inputs into decision trees, risk matrices, the whole 9 yards. I agonised for a long time on making the right decision. I went to dozens of interviews in Auckland, Melbourne, Christchurch and Wellington. It was a stressful and complicated time. Ultimately, in the end, I chose a simple criteria to make my choice. I wanted to stay in Christchurch. Once I made that choice, everything else became easy. I decided on a small, local firm that would provide me with lots of opportunities to use my newfound skills. The firm were committed to hiring a graduate, and the principals were supportive of growing a young person into a senior role. For me, the timing was perfect. My lesson out of that is keep decision-making simple and therefore easy. There will always be the next big decision in your life. Making a choice means that you can move to that next decision faster. Once I started working, I took to it with gusto. I was a model employee. I worked hard, learned all I could, took work home with me. I even stayed late after the boss to impress him. I said yes I can to pretty much everything, even if it meant I had to Google or call friends for help. I put all of my waking energy into work. Now you may expect some slightly new age ending to this, where I collapse with a heart attack, move to the beach, slow down, grow a beard and pick up shells for a living. But that didn't happen. What happened was that through all this hard work, I became the first choice. First choice for what? For everything. I took courses no one had took before. I trained in the newest software programs first. I was the first choice for that company. Why is this important? Well, being first choice gave me opportunities. The hard work I put in ensured that I was in a position to say yes, rather than asked to be next after the first guy. Taking advantage of these opportunities allowed me to grow professionally and personally. Some were risky, like leading a small satellite office in construction in Queenstown during the global financial crisis, while others were safe. I was one of the first people in New Zealand through the Green Star accredited professional training scheme. My second lesson is work hard to create the best opportunities for yourself. The recipe for success in many people's eyes always has hard work as a major ingredient. Ensure you have lots of it in the cupboard. By doing this, you will create opportunities for yourself. Opportunities always lead to growth in some way, and with growth, you will only get better. So now we have 1, make some simple choices. 2, work hard to create opportunities. The final piece of advice that I'd like to pass on is 3, plan for change. What exactly do I mean? Well, you're all sitting here having worked extremely hard to graduate today with your degree. Add some simple decision making and hard work and you're pretty much there. However, one final thing is to be nimble enough to recognise the opportunity for change. What I want to assure you of is that your first job will not be your last. You are well and truly in the generation that will have more job changes in their lives than all the previous generations together. And along the way, as you make choices on which jobs to take, which place to live, which career path to go down, always have in your mind the question, do I really want to do this job? Because if you don't want to, you can change and do something you want to. To try and illustrate this, I thought about a range of occupations that other people like yourselves do today. These are also engineering and forestry graduates. Electrical engineering has spawned investment bankers, marketing executives, management consultants aplenty, iOS developers, commercial managers, and construction company owners. Mechanical engineering has given us chief executives aplenty, CRM programmers, coffee accessory inventors, memorabilia company owners, tourism company owners, kitchen appliance inventors, business coaches, and more management consultants. Other disciplines have given us recruitment consultants, dairy farmers, energy consultants, wine label owners, power company owners, musicians, outdoor adventurers, and many more. What's special about these people is they started down one path and were nimble enough to recognise the change to another. Like some of them, I moved from my electrical engineering career after 5 years of technical design to New Zealand's largest privately owned construction company. There, in my role as a planner and programmer for the largest private insurer post-EQ rebuild program, I found myself selected in the company's newly formed Emerging Leaders program. After 3 years of that, I opted for another change. Now I'm involved as a commercial manager for Australia's largest fire engineering consultancy. A good friend from University of Canterbury days and the NSOC committee is a director and shareholder. I had my interview over breakfast and coffee. For me, another simple choice was made, and I've had some great challenges since. So where to from here? What's the next move? Who knows? But where I go will be on my terms and will undoubtedly require more change. For you down there, the world is well and truly your oyster. You could literally do anything you set your mind to. I encourage you to own every aspect of your future and make it as fulsome as possible. On this crazy journey of life, I'm a little bit ahead of you. Not much, but a little bit. 10 years on, I take a moment like this, reflect, and look back to my version of today, where I was sitting there like you. And I can look back and tell you that the path forward, the next phase of your life, will be up and down. You'll feel like you're going round and round. There will be times you might not be able to see the glorious view from the bottom of the hill. But once you run to the top through hard work, look back down and all around, the view will be well worth it. Good luck to you all as you move from this hallowed moment to the rest of your life, your career, and your future. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it remains to me to thank Warren for his address to you today. The themes of choice and change can be added to those that your Chancellor raised of challenge and opportunity. I'd also like, in thanking Warren, to acknowledge the contribution that he has made to the university's governance structure and the challenging amount of time and effort it has taken to help support wise decisions over the last 4 years or so. I'd also like, on your behalf, you as graduates of the university, the graduates and now alumni, to thank all of the staff, particularly the staff in the College of Engineering and School of Forestry, to thank them for the support that they have provided to you so that you might succeed as you have and as we recognise today. They were challenged by the circumstances the earthquake created as you were, not only at work, but in their family lives. And if you would join me in expressing our appreciation to them. And of course, while your achievements are personal and yours, they come with the support of many family and friends, for none of us can achieve alone what you have celebrated today. Many of you started the university at the beginning of 2011, a year that will be marked in the calendar of the history of the university as an extraordinary one. I am proud to see you here today, having persisted, and achieved, and set yourselves up for further success. A number of you will have been in halls of residence, and I said when I had the opportunity to address some of you that there is a deal we do with our students. We ask you to bring your curiosity. We undertake to teach you your chosen discipline. And then when you graduate, we ask you to go forth with courage to change the world for the better. In bringing the formal part of our ceremony to conclusion, I would ask in a moment that we stand and together sing Gareamus. And then I would ask that you remain standing while the stage party leads the graduates from the auditorium. Please stand.
Vivat membra quae debet, semper si